Are you gonna leave your imprint on this world? Be authentically you. 'Cause now is your season to live out your reason. Just be you. Are you gonna leave your imprint on this world?
Welcome to Authentically You Imprint, a subsidiary of Faith, Hope, and Love Ministries. I am Chris Wilson, your host for today, and I am super excited about the person that we're going to spotlight in today's show. And let me bring on with me Miss Nena B. Abdul-Wakeel. Welcome to the Imprint.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. I am excited to have this conversation with Chris, and congratulations on your show.
Thank you so much. This has been, as you very well know, this has been all a part of a long journey, and I don't think we're done. In fact, I know we're not done. So I don't even know. Our guest today, Imprint family. Our guest today, we call her Miss Nena B. We call her the LinkedIn Queen. She has so many hats that she wears. This really should be one of the easiest conversations for me to have because, first of all, Nena and I have known each other probably, 20 to 25 years.
That would be correct.
Correct. And over the last 4 to 5 years, she has become a must-have in my life. We have become friends. I'm telling you, we have taken trips together.
Yep.
We have sat and had conversations for hours on end. And it has just been a very, very rewarding and inspiring and challenging and pushing and loving relationship. And I really do thank God for bringing you back into my life because we were, as I said, we've known each other 20, 25 years. Life happens. You go your way. I went my way. We lived life and we came back together. And I'm just so very, very grateful to have you back as a part of my life. You have shown me so many things that are possible for me, for women, for Black women. You have shown for moms. You have shown me so many things that are possible. But I don't. Let's not go down that road because you
be ready to start having me cry. Really?
Right.
That's how this is going to happen.
Right.
So let me just say that I'm thankful for these last couple of years. We met through church, and many people in church, right? But to develop a relationship is a different story. And then you have become a dear friend for me. I often think of you as my spiritual cheerleader. I mean, when I am going through a challenge, I know by the time I get off the call with you, I'm going to be laughing and acting silly and being encouraged in the Lord. So all of it wrapped up is like, it gets exciting just talking with you. And everyone deserves to have somebody in their life like that. And so I'm thankful to God that He blessed me to have you be that person for me.
Awesome. Now you try to make me cry. Oh.
Life can be hectic and sometimes overwhelming, but I know that my loved ones need me, the best version of me. That's why it's important for me to take time to sit with my thoughts and clear my mind. Because before I can care for anyone else, I have to care for myself. Self-care is essential.
Okay. All right. So listen, for our audience, let me just name off a few things.
You are scared?
Huh?
Should I be afraid?
No. Not at all.
You're not gonna really tell my stuff, are you?
I'm not gonna rattle those things off. She's kidding, y'all. She lives above reproach. You are a sought after speaker. You're an author. You're an actress. You're a tech geek. Just like, technology falls into your hands and you're like, pop, pop, pop. Okay, it's running, doing flips, just running marathons. You are LinkedIn queen. You are a Delta.
Yes.
Yes. You are a corporate leader.
Yep.
You are a networker extraordinaire. I've never seen anyone be able to go into a room and work a room the way you can and get contacts that stay with you for a long time, for years to come.
I am a people collector.
Oh, a people collector, indeed. A people collector. And the thing that I think is most valuable, at least for me, most valuable, is that you are an impactful person in girl group. We all need, every woman needs a girl group.
Yes.
You need some women in your life who you can talk to and who can also speak to you.
Yeah, just be real.
Just be real with, and I love the group that we, it's just 3 of us, but I love our group. All right. So, but there are people are booking you in groups, in Facebook groups, to talk about things, and they're booking you to come to their actual events. Most of them now virtual, because that's the life we're living in. But once the world opens back up, I know you're going to be going and going and going again. So I don't want to really narrow your discussion today to one of those, because people are coming for you all the time for that level of information. So as I am talking, I want you to get your download, if you have one, of something that you really want to leave with the Authentically You imprint family today. I do have, as you can see, we have several things that we can talk about, and we can expound on those things and run for hours on those things. But if there is a particular download that you're going to get to talk to the Authentically You imprint people, that's what I want today. So I'm going to keep talking. I'm going to give you a few minutes. I'm going to really introduce you further to the imprint family as that download is coming to you. All right. So Miss Nena B is the founder of Social Media Success Network, and she's a national speaker on simplifying and maximizing social media for entrepreneurs and career professionals. Often called the LinkedIn Queen, she specializes in helping speakers. Listen up, audience in our family, listen up. She specializes in helping speakers, coaches, and authors to leverage LinkedIn for brand and business development. Let that sink in. Y'all heard what I said, okay? Leveraging over 30 years of corporate experience in IT, she excels in finding new ways to help other people be successful. Now, Nena has bios that if we pull together all that she has done, that bio would probably be 20 pages long. So that was just one paragraph from her bio. And now I want to turn the mic over to you. Are you ready?
I am.
To share with us what it is that you have gotten for the imprint family.
It's not because I'm always motivated. It's not because of some unquenchable fire inside. It's not because I'm always consistent in my efforts. Or even because I have the time. It's because it's about taking one step at a time. It's because if I don't do it, no one else can. It's because self-care is essential.
So, thank you, Chris. And to the Imprint family, I think it becomes obvious because Chris said to me, you know, I'm going to give you a minute to get your download, right? So if you're not familiar with that, let me just share and be clear on what that means. First and foremost, I'm a child of God, and, you know, Jesus Christ is my Lord and Savior. And I walk with him every single day of my life. I have an intimate relationship with him. He is my everything, my fullness, my gap filler, all of the above. And what I do and what I'm able to do is through his grace and mercy and the strength and the skills and talents that he gives me. So the other day I got an email. I get these emails all the time. It was a devotional email, and it was kind of a message to Nena kind of thing. And it was sharing about a seed of a tree. And, you know, you have the seed, it seems so insignificant. You know, it's in a shell, and it gets put in the ground, and it just is there. And it ends up coming under so much pressure sometimes, but it has to break the shell.
Right.
So sometimes the pain that we feel is the shell breaking, because the true purpose is in the inside, right?
Right.
And so we want to run away from the pain. Who wants pain? Like, I'm in the process with some dental stuff. I'm not trying to feel the pain. But I have to say, okay, either I try to do something so this smile stays, right, or doesn't. You know, so sometimes we have to run towards the pain, accept that the pain is part of the process, and just ask God to help us get through it. And so many points in my life have been those pain points. We don't necessarily get away from it. But if you take the analogy of the seed of the tree, it breaks the shell. It has to, in order for it to start to grow, right? To really start to move into its purpose. And even when it breaks through the ground, that's another pain point. Can you imagine, like, trying to break through some hard ground that's been stepped on, that's been going through frozen times and all this kind of stuff, and trying to break through? That's not going to be easy.
Not easy.
And so then you break through, and you're this tree, and you're growing up. And if you ever paid attention to a trunk of a tree, you're like, most of them, they go straight up.
Yeah.
But then all these branches happen, right? And that there's still the root of it is they're born to be a tree. And so, like, the other day, I had the awareness of I was born to be that tree. I had purpose in me. Early on, I couldn't even begin to imagine.
Right.
And now people ask me, how do you do so many things? I said, well, which part of my branches am I not supposed to do?
Yeah, exactly.
Which branch is not supposed to be there?
Exactly. I love it.
They're all supposed to be a part of the tree.
That's a beautiful analogy. Yes.
I'm like, if I stop one branch, if I cut off a couple of branches on this side, I start to lean this way. I'm not balanced.
I love that. I absolutely love it.
But the other thing is, I'm not supposed to put more weight on one branch than I'm putting on the other. I can't have more expectations on one thing that's in my life opposed to the other, because all of them are part of what God's called me to do.
Absolutely.
And some people may not understand that. They're like, oh, this is a strong branch, and it's got so much potential, and you could do this with it, and you could be making thousands of dollars and all this kind of stuff. Yeah, but if I topple over and I break and that branch breaks, I cease to have any purpose.
Exactly. You have hindered it. You have stunted growth in one area. Wow.
Well, if you stop doing all those other things, then you can pay attention to this one branch and it can grow strong.
Mm-hmm.
That could be somebody's purpose.
Exactly.
But you got to know what God is calling you to do. And for me, I'm recognizing that that's not the story that is a part of my journey.
Exactly.
So when Chris is talking about I'm a this, I'm a that, I'm a this, I'm a that, I'm a this, I'm a that, these are just all of my branches.
All of the branches.
All of the branches.
Yeah.
And somewhere along the line, through all of the branches, I touch different people.
Right.
And that's the core.
The core. That's the trunk.
Who I am.
I love that. That was a fantastic download, a fantastic opening to the multifaceted person that you are. And so we're going to come back after this short break, and we're going to dive into more of the branches.
The branches.
We'll be right back.
Life can be hectic and sometimes overwhelming. But I know that my loved ones need me, the best version of me. That's why it's important for me to take time to sit with my thoughts and clear my mind. Because before I can care for anyone else, I have to care for myself. Self-care is essential.
And welcome back to Authentically You Imprint. This has been so far the best conversation, and we've just gotten started. And the thing about it, we can go in this vein for a long time.
Yeah.
The whole analogy about the tree, the trunk being your core, and all of the things that we do being the branches. And you know what? I really want us to talk a little bit more about that, because I think what happens is, especially when we talk about purpose, we talk about being authentically you, we talk about leaving an imprint in this world. A lot of people get stunted and get stopped because that can be so big in your head. Mm-hmm. You think about leaving your imprint. Why was I created, crafted, and called to be? Who am I created, crafted, and called to be? You know, a lot of people get stopped right there at that part of the conversation, and they spin their wheels thinking that something magnificent is going to go poof, bam, in your life one day, and all of a sudden you're this, woo, you know, this is why I'm here. Hello. Ta-da. And no, that really is not how it all works.
It doesn't. And so part of the challenge is that we are observing our perception of what other people are doing, and what
I can sit all the way back in the chair on that one.
Makes them appear to be successful.
Exactly.
And to be fair, there are many people who have reached a certain point, and their heart's desire is to share with other people what they did and how they do it, with the impression that, hey, if you do these things, you'll get here too.
Exactly.
But it's kind of like teaching people to bake a cake. You know,
exactly.
Here are all the ingredients. If you use these same ingredients, you'll get the same cake.
Right.
There ain't no two cakes the same.
None.
No. And definitely, if you give the same ingredients to two different bakers, you're gonna get a different kind of cake.
Exactly.
Even if they're trying to make the same cake.
The same cake, right?
You know. So that's just like, I think about people going, I make the best red velvet cake. I was like, I don't really like red velvet cake. No, but you will like mine. Right. But when we start owning that the ingredients that we have will make our cake, and that the right people will enjoy our cake.
Our cake, exactly.
Now, there's nothing wrong with learning from those who have gone before. That is part of legacy.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
But you can't and I'm learning this too. And God kept telling me, like, you're learning all these things. You know, I have several coaches in the speaking arena and the business development arena and all of that. And God, you know, and they're like, Nena, you got this talent, you can get this, you should be making these things.
Right.
And God is consistently saying to me, you're going to learn these things, but not because you're going to do them the way they do it.
The way they do them. Exactly.
Most of the time it's for me to learn so that I can help someone else. Right? So when you take the time to just be okay with where you're planted and how you're supposed to grow,
right,
you get a comfort zone to really shine.
Exactly.
And you never know. Like you and I mean, somebody could have said to me years ago, you know, you're going to be a multiple author and national speaker. I'd be like,
yeah, right.
What's in your glass?
Right.
I couldn't see it.
Right.
And so, and sometimes we don't want to see it, because if God showed us what was in store, we would be running the other direction.
We would be afraid. Absolutely.
But we have to stop using our observation of other people to allow that to be the vision, because it's not our vision.
Exactly. Exactly. And I really do think back to, I don't know if it was 2017 or 2018, the first conference that we went to, the Lift conference.
The Lift?
I think it was 2018. Yes. Because the book was already out. So it was 2018, that first conference. And when we walked into the room and saw all of the entrepreneurs that were in that room and all of the experts in their lane, and they were dominating their lane and commanding, you know, the presence in their lane. And you and I were sitting there, me more so than you probably, but I'm thinking, where have all these people been all of my life?
Right. I was
and
like,
was
there an alternate universe that had all these people in it?
We didn't know this kind of thing even existed.
Right.
You know, and so that coming from that conference is what jump started me or kicked me into midweek motivation. I started midweek motivation because of the Lift conference. And then from that, here comes this, here comes that, the other. And I have this analogy, and you will definitely be able to grab this. I have this analogy in my book. It says, you can stand just far enough away from an automatic door and it will never open for you. All you need to do is take one step in the direction of that door and it will open. And if you keep walking, other doors will open for you.
That is an awesome analogy. That's so true.
And that's what you did when you took me to that conference. No, I mean, that thing opened a door for me.
Well, you know, to be fair, and see, this is what we also, part of purpose, right?
Right.
Connecting, because I was just like, I felt like that a couple of months before, when I felt like I was in Alice in Wonderland, like, what is this? What world is this?
Right.
And then I was like, you gotta come see. Right. You know? And so,
it's been wonderful.
Yeah, there's so many people that I feel like I've done that for, but I haven't done it let me restate that. I've done it in other areas of my life, which tells me it is a part of the core of who I am.
You are. Exactly.
Who God has called me to be.
Exactly.
So will I see my name up on a billboard somewhere or see multiple zeros behind my bank account? Maybe not. I'll be okay either way.
Right.
Because God's got me covered. But if you tell me if I could do all of that stuff and get all of the money into my bank account and I haven't impacted anyone else's life,
what's it all for?
What's it for?
Exactly. And I think that is, you said the main thing is, you know, what you do. You wake up every day saying, oh, I get to do this again. that is the passion. It's not necessarily saying, oh, I get to, you wake up and say, oh, I get to make another $1 million today. No, it's like, oh, wow, I get to impact another person's life today. And that is, community, and we're here in this earth, to impact each other, to impact people, And so to do that, to be able to do that in such an effective way and in such a way that you enjoy it, lets you know that you're on the right path for what you were created to do. And I love it. I absolutely love it.
It's not because I'm always motivated. It's not because of some unquenchable fire inside. It's not because I'm always consistent in my efforts, or even because I have the time. It's because it's about taking one step at a time. It's because if I don't do it, no one else can. It's because self-care is essential.
So listen, your tagline for Walk Boldly?
Yes.
Be encouraged, be empowered, walk boldly into your dreams. Let's talk about that. And let's talk about how you even got to that tagline.
Well, let me back up just a little and tell you how Walk Boldly even was born. Because in all the accolades, all the things you listed, for a good portion of my life, I stayed in the background. I love tech stuff, and it's easy to stay in the background with technology stuff, especially back in the day. And, I sang in the choir, but, I wasn't the one that be, getting all the solos and all that kind of stuff. I stayed in the background. And part of it was my lack of self-esteem, which also led to people underestimating what I was capable of doing. And I reached a point where I said, I have to stop doing this because I'm not happy. I'm not able to really feel like I am truly being me. And so I'm like, what's the worst thing that could happen?
Exactly.
And so I started stepping out, and, I did this, and then I did that. I started a podcast, and I did, and I was like, hey, this feels great, And so then I met other people, and I was like, what's this speaking thing all about? And then,
Exactly.
And I want, for me, it's a journey. And I just wanted to say, hey, you can come along on this journey with me, and I can encourage you, and you encourage me, and let's make this happen.
Let's keep it moving. Exactly.
And so be encouraged is more, more for myself and for anyone else that's on this journey. And be empowered. You've got so much deep inside you that's been planted and needs to bloom, whether it's bloomed early or you may feel like you're a late bloomer, then it doesn't matter. It's to bloom. And then, walk boldly into your dreams. We all have dreams. My dreams are about helping people. If you would ask me, what would I love to experience? And some people, as a speaker, like TED Talks and all that kinds of, those are nice. And no shade, no, hate or anything to all the people. That's their goal or whatever.
Yes.
But put me on the stage in front of a large group of people who they could be everyday people. They don't need to have no degrees. They just want to be encouraged.
Right.
right? And to see somebody they can relate to,
Right.
say, listen, this 5'2", yes, I said 2, okay, don't ask the doctor, but 5,
Right.
you know, over 200 pounds, dark skinned girl is standing on this stage telling you, yes, you can do it.
Yes, you can do it.
Yes, you can do it.
It's attainable.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I would love to be doing.
I love that.
All the time.
All the time. Wow. Wow. Yes, walk boldly into your dreams. And I tell you, the things that you do, the things that I know that you do speak very much to that. I mean, even the community involvement that you do,
Yes.
you do. All of that speaks to, helping other people find who they are. And I think that is admirable. I think it is, and within itself, it is rewarding and gratifying, because you get, when you see somebody's eyes light up,
yes,
first time, or you see somebody come to life after what looks like they've been, dormant for years. The first thing that hits your heart and your spirit is, thank you, Jesus. Look at what you've done with those words that you gave me to say.
yes.
So it is truly, truly amazing. So your first book, though, is entitled A Greatness Quest Experience, 7 Days of Prayer and Meditation. What prompted you to write that book?
God.
You better come on.
So, in all honesty, first of all, Chris, you know me long enough, and you've heard me tell the story about how much I don't like to write.
Right.
And, I was going through a grief journey, and I became a co-author in the book Bounce Back. Right. And that's where I shared my grief story. But in the same timeline, God was leading me to write a devotional. And so it was 7 days, and it was kind of connected with my podcast. And my original goal was just to kind of have this 7-day thing, encourage my podcast community to follow along with me, and we do this together. So I was like, well, I got to write something down so that they know what I want us to be talking about. So I started writing down, and it just kind of grew on its own. And then I kept floundering on how to end it. Right. And I was like, I'm supposed to wrap this up and get it to the publisher and da-da-da. And I was like, Lord, I need your help. I'm not ending. Well, what I discovered was it wasn't ending because it wasn't supposed to. So at the end of the 7 days, one of the things that we really don't do well is celebrating our accomplishments. And I'm a work in progress on that.
Work in progress, right.
And so in the book, there is a certificate of completion for you to be able to complete, fill in your name and date and all that kind of stuff, so that you could have something as a record that you did these 7 days. But then there's 7 more days.
Right.
So technically it's 14 days in the 7-day book, but you don't know that until you get the book. And then you're like, what?
There's more. Exactly.
So, and I'm thankful. And actually this year, 2020, was it this year? Yeah, 2020. This year's 2021, I know that, but I'm like, it was actually in 2020 towards the end where I actually picked up my own book and I went through the 7 days. And it was very supportive and healing for me, some things I was going through. So, after I finished, I was just like, I'm trying, you have this, this dual thought. Yeah, I wrote that, but wow, I wrote that? because it was nothing but God. So if God can take the words that He sent through you to bless you, you are in alignment.
You are in alignment. I love it. Absolutely do love it.
Life can be hectic and sometimes overwhelming, but I know that my loved ones need me, the best version of me. That's why it's important for me to take time to sit with my thoughts and clear my mind. Because before I can care for anyone else, I have to care for myself. Self-care is essential.
How important do you think it was for you to write that book?
It was life-changing.
Like changed your life.
It took a lot of the bars off, the boundaries I had put on myself.
Mm-hmm.
If I could do something that I always had said to myself that I couldn't do, and how much more could I do with the things I knew I could do?
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Yeah. And so since that first book, you have now been a part of how many anthologies?
Oh, I want to say 3 or 4 more.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm about to be in another one. Yep.
Excellent. I tell you, again, you take that first step towards that door and other doors will automatically open for you. Mm-hmm. It is amazing how that happens. Even as recently as March 16th, to be exact. March 16, 2021, your most recent publication, The Every Girl.
Oh, yes.
Published an interview with you where you shared 4 tips from an expert, okay, to help you stay motivated when you feel stuck in a career rut. Okay, so I'm not going to go through that entire article, but, I do want to lift a few quotes from that discussion. Your 4 tips, first of all, let me give the listening audience and the watching audience your 4 tips. Number 1, remember the big picture. Number 2, develop and invest in new skills to enhance your career. Number 3, consider new and fresh career opportunities. Number 4, invest in other areas of your life. These are all very interesting tips. And if you go over to theeverygirl.com, you can read the article. All right. And because expounds on each of those 4 points. So let's just talk about the one where you talked about remembering your why. Let's talk about that one first. I think I want to talk about one more. So
first, I want to give a shout out to Blair Bedford, who is the writer of the article. She reached out to me and said, "Hey, I would love to write an article, interview you with some tips for those who are in a career and have kind of hit a rut. What would you say to them?" And I can relate to that because I've had a lot of different pivot points in my career. So we just kind of walked through some things, and I read the article, and I was like, wow, did I actually say that? That was actually pretty good. But, it's all saying some of the same things I was just saying earlier. Remembering, knowing the big picture, knowing your why, knowing your purpose. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Right? So that's really your big picture. It's like your purpose is to impact and serve the kingdom in the lane of brilliance and gifting that you're called to do. If you're a doctor, it's about healing, or maybe it's creating that medicine, or creating, that technique that will save a life or prolong a life, whatever the case may be. Absolutely. But it's remembering, particularly in those moments when you're not doing the thing that you would want to be able to do.
Oh my goodness, yes.
It's easy to remember when you're, like for me, it's easy to remember when I'm on the stage.
Yeah.
It's harder to remember when I got to pump out 5 emails to different people for different things.
Exactly.
And, post on social media and
all the back office.
That's the stuff I'm like, please, somebody rescue me.
Help me. Help me.
But it's for a purpose, and it's part of the process.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, it's harder to remember when you're going through those periods of pain.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I
But
heard someone say not many days ago that it is important to keep your why before you.
Mm-hmm.
Have it somewhere where it's visible at a moment's notice. You can quickly get to it. If it's not posted on a wall or sitting on your desk in a frame, have it in a file or someplace that you can immediately get to it, because those days of lack of encouragement, those days and moments when you are not inspired to do that thing will hit you, and you need to be able to go back and look at your why to keep you motivated and keep you on track. And when you get sidetracked and or distracted by someone else's why, and you find yourself sitting watching video after video after video, because it's good content, it's good information, it is excellent information. But guess what? Sometimes it can be overload. It can be too much. And before you know it, you're following, quote unquote, a rabbit trail behind someone else's vision, somebody else's why, and yours is over here parked, waiting for you to get back to it. So it is very, very important to have a place where you can go on a regular to put your eyes on your why.
So can I share a thought that that has become clearer for me of late around the concept of why?
Sure, please do.
Some people grab onto their why based on material things or people or places. And there's nothing wrong with that. And when I say that, like, it could be to allow your family to have a better home or something like that, or your kids to go to college. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But I encourage you to peel it back another level, because those things, although very helpful, may not be enough when it gets really hard. So make sure that you know your why at an inside level.
Yep. Very deep inside level.
Yeah.
It's like you have to be fully persuaded.
Yes.
Yep. If you're not fully persuaded, it's going to be hard to stay on track. You know?
And your why may not make sense to anyone else but you. Because it may not, we talk about, goals and SMART goals, measurable, attainable, all that kind of stuff. And so some of our whys are like SMART goals. But sometimes your why is not a SMART goal. It is your, it's your purpose. And it's not necessarily measurable. It's not realistic.
Exactly.
Time bound.
Yeah.
It's not.
And you have to be okay with that.
And you got to be okay with it.
You have to know that you are still on task. You're still on track. You're still in your swim lane, your sweet spot. You have to know that. Yeah. Things like that is what push you, to get up and do when you don't think you can. Getting on Facebook Live and even doing, Zoom recordings, doing authentically you imprint. I'm not ready for this.
but you're doing it anyway.
But the passion keeps pushing. The passion keeps pulling. The passion, keeps stirring me in the middle of the night to get up and take notes on how to do this, that, and the other. And so, and I'm very grateful. I'm very, very grateful. And before, like I said, this conversation could go on forever. But I do want to get one more point in. And let me just say to the viewing audience, we're not all over the place. We really are not. What we're talking about are things that that God has entrusted, to Miss Nena B. These are things that God has entrusted to me. These are things that God has entrusted to us. So it's not like we're grabbing at straws. No, these are actual things. They are actual. This stuff is actually happening in our life, And so I guess the bottom line for today's discussion is to encourage and inspire you, the viewer, to not think that it's one thing. Not think that your life is summed up into one thing. It could very well be, and if that is the case, beautiful. Work that one thing, own that one thing. But if God has given you that, as Nena so very vividly described to us at the beginning, that tree trunk is your core. And if God has given you this many, limbs that come off of that core, then you have to, give an account for that too. You have to give an account for each one of them. Mm-hmm. So I just wanted to clarify to the viewing audience that we're not just throwing stuff out and talking about everything and nothing. No, everything we've talked about today is something.
It's exciting. It's zesty. Purify and protect with our new lemon head-to-toe routine. The subtle, crisp fragrance instantly makes you feel clean. Guess I'll just keep using lemons for my water until my order gets here. Our new lemon range is available now.
It's a real thing.
It's a real thing.
And so,
I think the core of what we've talked about is around purpose, right? Mm-hmm. And I would say that for those people, there are many people who are saying, I don't know my purpose. Well, sometimes we have to be in motion to discover it.
My God, that's good.
And so if there's just like one thing that sparks something for you, follow that spark.
Follow that.
And see where it leads you. And then you may get a different spark or it evolves for you. Uh-huh. But you don't sit and wait thinking that it's going to come up and show up at your doorstep like a box from Amazon and you open it up and your purpose is all clear and written right there.
Not happening.
It doesn't happen that way.
Not happening.
Not that it couldn't. Our God is able to do all things, exactly. But I would recommend that you be in motion.
Be in motion. Yes, exactly. Wow. So let's talk about investing in your own growth. Investing in your growth. There's a seed that has to be planted. There's expenses that you have to, dish out. If you believe in what God has, created and crafted and called you to do and who He's called you to be, if you believe in that, then you have to invest in your own growth.
One of the interesting things that you often hear at church and people think about it in the context of church when we talk about our time, our treasure, our talents, right? People don't think about it in the sense of other elements in their world and what God maybe called you to do. Because obviously in everything you've listed, you didn't start talking about all the things I do at church, right? Because my ground of ministry is outside the church walls, right? I do see what I do as a ministry. And so, but I've invested my time, my talents, and my treasures because I want to represent God in excellence.
Exactly.
And how do I do that if I'm not willing to put in the work to hone the skills and talents that He's given me? And sometimes you might say, well, I don't have the money to go to school or get coached or this and that and else. Then you have to be creative, either find out other avenues to get the money or be willing to serve and learn. Because I do both. Right now, I'm serving on a team and I'm not paying, but I'm serving with my time and talent so that I can learn some things.
Right.
And I'm learning a lot. I have people who are part of my team that are serving on my team as they grow their skills.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm coaching them on how they can then take those skills
Exactly.
and turn it into monetary opportunities.
Right.
So you have to just be willing to invest
Mm-hmm.
in yourself that may be monetary, but a lot of times it's through your time and your talent.
Absolutely. That is so the truth. And just wrapping your head around that and grabbing a hold of that and believing that sometimes may take some time. And it took me far longer than it should. Well, I shouldn't say that, because all things work together for the good.
Mm-hmm.
But just going to conferences that are focused in the direction that you are walking in, sometimes that was just unknown to me. It wasn't something that I thought I could afford to do, and that was a luxury, I should say. It was a luxury for me. But now I am seeing more and more just how important it is to surround yourself with the people who are ahead of you, in the lane that you're in, or the lane that you believe that you should be in. You may not actually be in it, but you think you believe you should be. It is so super important to surround yourself with those people who are ahead of you, so you can glean from them, learn from them, and then when you do get the finances to be able to really get some time with that person, to sit with that person and have a download from that person, because there's so much that you can learn. There's so much that another person can teach you. And so you won't have to experience all the bumps and the pitfalls along the journey that you're on. They'll alleviate a lot of that. So it has definitely been valuable to me to network, and to sit at the feet of wonderful entrepreneurs, even if it's something that I don't even know about doing, even if it's something that I'm not even interested in doing, that part of the entrepreneurship. Mm-hmm. There are certain steps that are just basic for every person who is an entrepreneur that we all need to know. So it has definitely been very beneficial, very fruitful for me, to know Miss Nena B, Abdul-Wakeel, and to be able to just watch you multitask the many things that you do. Is sometimes I leave a conversation with you and my head is tilting one way or another, or there's little smoke coming out of my ears. I'm like, how in the world does she do all of this? And you always have to come back to the point that if it was not for, your Lord and Savior, you couldn't, because he's the one who has given you these visions and given you the passion and given you the energy, even the ingenuity, the thought pattern to get those things done. And so it is it's super exciting, to have people in your world who can inspire you. So let me ask you that. How much time? Let me just ask you that before we go. If there is one, maybe two, I'll give you two people in your life, in your whole life, who have really, really inspired you to take flight, who would that person of those two people be? Living or dead?
I have a really hard time answering that.
Okay.
And it's no disrespect to any particular person, but I have what I have so many moms and dads and aunts and uncles, and each one have invested something in me.
Made a deposit.
Right. And so I can't think of a one or a two that would be, and I'm not one of those people who I admire some of those, celebrities or some people in the forefront. No disrespect. I do. There are some that I really admire, but I've never been one of those persons like, oh, I know everything about them and I want to be just like that. That's never been my MO. I think it's more, so many people have invested in me.
That's good.
And believed in me. And so as I move forward and I'm able to help other people, I try to one, do the same, pass it forward,
Yes,
pay it
exactly.
forward.
Exactly.
And I kind of, I want them to be proud of me. I still interact with a lot of people. Some of my nurturers have passed on, but some of them are still here. And then when I see them, I still feel like that young girl.
I know, right? Exactly.
And but I know I'm not that young girl anymore. The gray hairs will let me know that. But I want to invest in someone else. I just want to pass it forward. So I want to share a quick story about something that happened today at work.
Okay.
So there's a new little work group that we call Associate Engagement Work Group in my little division. And we're planning our first little activity, fun activity.
Okay.
And one of the young ladies that's on the team was asking, who's going to be the host in this breakout room, and what is the host got to do? And so another young lady was like, well, I'm not comfortable doing that. And so I was like, oh, did you speak up? Oh, great. So we're going to put you in as the host for that room.
Right.
And so the other lady was like, are you pushing her out there like that? That's not very nice. I said, and she asked me, are you pushing her out there like that? And I said, yes, I am. She said, well, that's not very nice. She didn't sound like she was comfortable. I said, oh, no. See, I've seen her. I've interacted with her, and there's too much magic in that for her to stay in the back of the room. So I'm just pushing her to the forefront. That's all.
Yeah.
And so the young lady I was talking about, she's like, well, okay, I think I can do that. I said, maybe we can get you a co-host, but I know you can do it. And so I really feel like that's kind of what people have done for me over the years, and it's my turn to do the same.
Exactly. I love that. That is very good. You have excellent analogies, and I love that. Before we close, though, I will not, and because I just saw that fist bump, I did not, and I purposefully left this for the very last. Not only are you all these other phenomenal things, but you are the mom of two very, very talented and phenomenal young men.
Yes.
Give a shout out to your boys.
So I am the mother of two amazing young men. I have an oldest son, Khalil David, who is a multi-talented, multi-instrument musician and a phenomenal leader and peer counselor and all of those wonderful things, and just has a compassionate heart that's amazing. And then I have my young, Khalil is currently 19. And then I know Chris is like, what? Where did that come from? And then I have my youngest son, Malik Nathaniel, who is the tallest in the house, and is starting to surprise himself in how tall he's getting. But he is super smart and often takes the easy way because it is easy, not necessarily excellent, but we're working through that. But he has a heart of gold as well, and is extremely talented athlete. Both my sons are wonderful young men that love the Lord, that know the Lord, that understands the value of family and support and all of that. When their father passed away in 2016, they've been, my rocks.
Yeah.
And so I am just, thankful that they are who they are. And I know it's nothing but the grace of God.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, this has been a phenomenal conversation with my sister friend, Miss Nena B. Thank you so much for joining the Authentically You Imprint family today. and for sharing so many nuggets with us today. Is there one last departing thing you want to share with us? You want to leave with the audience?
Yes. Be encouraged. Be empowered. Walk boldly into your dreams. Someone's waiting for you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. I love that. And so as we close out today's show, thank you all so much for joining us here at the Authentically You imprint. And listen, if you want to have a moment at the table, if you want to join us at the proverbial table, send us an email at ayimprint21@gmail.com. We would love to spotlight you. We would love to have a chat with you. Again, thank you so much, and we will see you next week. All right? Bye-bye.
Be authentically you. 'Cause now is your season to live out your reason. Just be you. How you gonna leave your imprint on this world? Be authentically you. 'Cause now is your season to live out your reason. Just be you. How you gonna leave your imprint on this world?